Hi everyone, and welcome to this edition of Chiefs Blueprint. Week 1 of training camp is in the books. It's been a busy opening week for the Kingdom here in St. Joe. With just a few practices under their belts, though, we're seeing Coach Reed in the strides he wants to make in 2018.
Yeah, Mitch, we've seen both sides of the ball really getting after it, and there's been a lot of takeaways. You and I have been talking throughout practice, but one of the more exciting ones that we've discussed is Eric Berry and Justin Houston finally being out on the field together, healthy going into this season. Over the last 5 years, those guys have just played in 34 of a possible 80 games together.
Yeah, and they're 22-12 in those 34 games.
Yeah, so to see them flying around, showing their leadership, I mean, it permeates throughout the entire team, and that even goes to the offensive side of the ball. We know that starts with quarterback Patrick Mahomes, who we've been seeing chuck the ball around a little bit, showcasing that arm talent that you and I have been talking about all offseason.
But there's excitement with the guys that surround him. Tyreek Hill, Sammy Watkins, Travis Kelce, Kareem Hunt. But there's another story here, in that Eric Bieniemy moves from running backs coach to a first-year as offensive coordinator. We'll talk with Coach Bieniemy, but first, we'll talk about another guy that the Chiefs Kingdom is excited about, new cornerback Kendall Fuller, in this week's Under the Helmet.
I remember last year, I think we played Kansas City on a Monday night.
It's the Chiefs and Redskins, Monday Night Football at Arrowhead. Is there more Monday Night magic awaiting?
When you're a defender in an away game, they're not as loud when you're on the field, but when you're on the sideline, you can just sit back and listen to how loud they get when the offense is on the field. It definitely get crazy, man.
Kansas City has it. Houston scores a touchdown.
And Kansas City stays undefeated.
Yes, sir. Yeah. We got to start out fast today. Hey, I'm Mike today. I'm 12. I'm Mike. I'm 12 today. Yeah. Yeah. Ooh, that sun out too now.
Just the talent that we have, and all those guys. They every day they just come out and they just want to work. They just want to get better.
Jay Houston. What up with it? You good? I'm great.
And they want all of us to get better. So they're out there pushing us. And I've been able to come in here and fit right in.
What up, DA? What up, fellas? What up, boy? What up, Sid? What up, Trey? What up, Stern? What up?
We always talk about just communicating with each other.
Ball. Hey, in.
And I think one big way is just to always just lead by example.
Next play, we good.
You make a mistake tomorrow, get better the next day. Never make the same mistake twice.
You know I'm taking that angle now.
And just every day, just keep on getting better, keep on competing.
Back over here. Right off the bat.
Start off hot. Yeah, got to.
We know that it's camp, we know it's gonna be a grind, but some way, somehow, we just gotta find a way to have fun out there, never just take it for granted.
Hey, did y'all hear me say I was mic'd up today?
I'm gonna go talk over here.
I made that thing clear now. I waited till we weren't doing no drills.
No matter how hard it gets, how easy it gets, you just gotta always go out there and just have fun.
Yeah!
Kendall Fuller may be new to Kansas City, but last year with the Redskins, Pro Football Focus had Fuller rated as the #1 slot corner in the league.
And based on what we've seen so far at camp, those numbers are justified because some of the reps and battles he's had with Sammy Watkins have been a lot of fun to watch, and he's certainly someone Chiefs fans should be excited about. But another guy that's no strangers to the NFL, or Kansas City for that matter, is new offensive coordinator Eric Bieniemy. Earlier this week, Mitch, you had a chance to sit down with the man who is in charge of managing what is shaping out to potentially be one of the league's most explosive offensive attacks.
You played the game. You coached a long time.
Play hard, play fast.
But now in a brand new role here. What about you adjusting to being an offensive coordinator?
I've had some great mentors over the year. Obviously, Coach Reed being one of them. I can't say enough about how he's helped me make this transition. Working with Coach Reed, he always makes sure that we're on top of everything. And seeing it from a different viewpoint, now it's not just about, hey, I got to worry about the running backs. Now it's seeing the entire picture. I got to spend time with the O-linemen, spent a vast majority of time with the quarterbacks, spending time with the receivers and the tight ends. And so it's a unique standpoint because now you get to watch it and put it all together.
We have a lot of new faces.
What up, Trey?
And you start kind of building that team thing.
1, 2, 3.
Coach talks about new. This is new. There's a lot of new to this, including your new role. But I want to talk about what's returning, the core of guys that are coming back and what that means to this offense.
We have a good group core of guys that are coming back that have been here for a number of years. We've had a great deal of success. I mean, we've had our highs, we've had our lows. Coach Reed has done a great job of developing a culture of winning here. And guys understand that, hey, you know, if you don't work, you don't eat. And that's the way we operate.
This camp is going to be interesting to watch. There's some tight battles going on here. I want to ask you about your old room at running back.
We have a very, very good group of backs. I mean, obviously, Kareem Hunt with the year that he's had.
Kareem Hunt, the NFL's new phenom.
Spencer coming back from injury. He's chomping at the bit. Charkandrick West, a jack of all trades. You add a Damian Wheeler. And then you got the young kid, D. Will from LSU. Then on top of that, you got the general in charge, Anthony Sherman. The good thing about that group is that they have good camaraderie, they have great chemistry, they do a great job of working hard together.
But a village surrounding a young quarterback. I mean, there's been a lot of discussion, should be, about Patrick. But what about all the eyes on him and the fact that he doesn't have to do this by himself?
He is the ultimate competitor. The kid is very, very competitive, and his recall is amazing. He understands what it takes to be a very, very good player in this league. But at the end of the day, he just got to be poised under pressure and understand, hey, we don't need to solve the world's problems every single play. You know what I mean? Let's just take what they give us, and hey, we live and we move on to the next play.
When this camp is done and you checking it off to get it, we got to get this done, this done, this done. What's on that checklist?
You know what? At the top of that list is just play hard, play fast, have a sense of purpose, have a sense of urgency in everything that you do. That's what it's all about, because if we can go out there and play at a high level, we'll have a chance to do some things. And I'm looking forward to that.
Chiefs Blueprint is brought to you by Park University, the official higher education partner of the Kansas City Chiefs. Microsoft Surface, the official tablet of the Kansas City Chiefs. Premier Mazda and Premier Volvo of Overland Park. And by the University of Kansas Health System, the official healthcare provider of the Chiefs and the athlete in you.
Welcome back to St. Joe and Chiefs Blueprint. One thing that's been apparent here early on in St. Joe has been the defense, because there have been some practices, BJ, they have set the tone, especially in pads.
It was something that was discussed all offseason. Every time Brett Veach spoke, he talked about getting guys defensively with a certain mindset. And as soon as they put the pads on Saturday morning, we saw that. And for me, it started with inside linebacker Anthony Hitchens, a guy that I don't think has been discussed enough as far as what he could do for this defense. But he is flying downhill. He is making plays. You talk to him after practice. He loves the physicality. That's what he's all about. And it set the tone for everybody. It wasn't just the defense. That first hit he had, everybody kind of woke up and realized what that first day in pads was all about.
All of the talk in the offseason has been about offense, but now in this camp, we're seeing the defense could be getting its swag back. We talked about early in the show with Kendall Fuller. What about some of the other corners who are making an impact?
Yeah, it's a big storyline all offseason. Going into the draft, you didn't know what they were going to do, and they signed guys like David Amerson, who has had a fantastic start to his camp, running around making plays. And for a guy who's, 6'1", 205 pounds, he's showing some ability to move side to side and make some plays out on the outside. And then Steve Nelson, a guy that puts the work, and you talk to his teammates, they absolutely love the way this guy comes to practice every single day. He's already got 3 picks in the first 4 practices, and that's exactly what we want to see from a guy who talks about the chip on his shoulder, and he's got a lot to prove this season. We're seeing it translate out to the field.
Another guy I'm impressed with because of his consistency and his potential impact is Tano Passanio. He has left an impression.
Last year, coming in as a defensive end, coming out of Villanova, transitioning to a new position. That's not easy for anybody. We see it with a lot of 3-4 outside linebackers who played defensive end in college in those 4-3s, and he looks night and day different. Whether he's rushing the passer, he already had some ability to slide inside with what he was doing last year, but bending the edge, ability to drop into coverage, looks a little more comfortable. Not that he's a finished product, but we've seen him do a little bit of everything out here, and that's pretty exciting for a guy who's 6'7", 280 pounds, and is built like a creative player in Madden.
Now, this defense has not made it easy on Patrick Mahomes. This isn't general math. This has been series and differential equations for him. But we've also seen his talent. What about his ability to make every throw all over the field?
Yeah, I think it's something that's kind of come to define his game. You saw it at Texas Tech, and we saw it the scout team last year. Those defensive starters would talk about how he was helping them prepare because he was running around making plays. Bob Sutton talked about it this week. You never know when the ball is going to come your direction because he can make a throw from any angle, from any arm slot, from anywhere on the field. So he's keeping everybody on their toes, and it's never a bad thing for defensive backs to always stay plastered to the guys, and for offensive guys to know the ball can come to them anytime.
And what about Travis Kelce always being there for Mahomes?
Mitch, you and I were standing there watching the situational period, the first couple. When they go 11 on 11 late in practice and they're going to situations, it seemed like Mahomes, every time that he was in a big spot, he would go to Kelce across the middle, and that's exactly what we thought could happen when you have an all-pro tight end like Travis Kelce, be that safety blanket for him, especially when you have the guys on the outside. It's a lot of fun, and we're seeing all those things we talked about with the offense manifest themselves out here in St. Joe.
Coming up, we'll take you on a trip to Madison, Alabama, and inside the home of Chiefs inside linebacker Reggie Ragland, who talks about how his journey from Bob Jones High School has shaped Ragland into becoming a starting linebacker in the National Football League.
Put the olive oil on. Put the olive oil on. Excuse me. Get out the way.
You want right here?
No, we can just go this.
He says he's good at the salmon, so we'll see.
You want me to massage it? You just. Hey. We got a little salmon, corn. The only reason I like this because I'm trying to eat healthy. Any other time, I'm letting it rip. Family's everything to me. I appreciate all them. That's good douche.
Okay.
All right. I'm gonna throw that away.
All right.
You need a little water?
Yeah, you need a little water.
How much water?
Maybe about 2 cups.
2 cups. So we're gonna get. When I'm down and out, everybody that's in my immediate family has always talked to me. I've always been there for me, regardless of good or bad.
Right down. You're gonna put a little butter in it too. That's just, it's gonna be enough.
You sure?
I'm sure.
Okay then, baby. It's a dog-eat-dog world, and sometimes when you want to go somewhere, you gotta sacrifice. And if it weren't for them, I wouldn't have been in a position to make sure I can get to my goal.
A little bit more than that, sweetie, just to, bam.
I know I'm working for them. And I just got to stick to the course and be a hard-working man like I've always been, and that's what I want to keep doing.
Madison, Alabama, located near the Alabama-Tennessee state lines, is where you can most likely find Kansas City Chiefs linebacker Reggie Ragland. Known for its hard-working, blue-collared mentality, it comes as no surprise that Ragland grew up here. And even though he's a starting linebacker in the National Football League, there's no place he'd rather be.
How you doing? This is my old little stomping ground, you know. Hey, Miss Ray, how you doing? I just want to be known as a good person. I love people, period. I feel like I can talk to anybody. Normally, schools, they got periods. We got blocks on block schedules. So, what we gonna catch today? What's up, girl?
What's up?
What's up?
How you doing?
I'm good, how about you?
I'm good.
Hey, Miss Anderson, girl, you look good. What you got on?
Hey, Reggie.
Coach, how you doing?
How you doing? Good.
Doing good about yourself?
Good to see you, brother.
Good seeing you, too.
You know, he's just a special person. I think where he's most comfortable would be in that lunchroom, hugging the lunchroom ladies at Bob Jones High School.
Hey, girl, get a hug.
Nobody treats him like a superstar. From the minute that I met him, there was kind of an aura around him. This is a guy who always comes home.
Not much. How about you?
He's been incredibly loyal, and I think that's a great quality about him.
I'll show you out my picture. Like, all people who did so far sports-wise, then they got me. Then me and Levi play together.
He meets all the measurables. He can jump, dunk a basketball any way he wants to. He brought that confidence onto the football field. He became a physical, downhill football player and has been ever since.
I was playing 2 or 3 years up, and I would dominate middle school and high school because I was so much bigger than everybody.
I can remember, you know, we're going down to put the game away. It's 4th and 4, and they're like, what are you going to do? I'm like, throw it to Reggie.
Bounces pass complete to Reggie Ragland.
At times, I knew I wouldn't try to play as hard because I knew I was still manhandling kids, but I really knew it when I was younger. I wasn't scared of none of them.
After high school, Reggie would choose to continue his playing career 2 hours south at the University of Alabama. Despite not seeing much playing time his first 2 years, Reggie would lead the Crimson Tide to their 16th national title in team history. After being selected with the 41st pick by the Buffalo Bills, Reggie was eager to take his game to the next level. However, Reggie's NFL dreams would be put on hold as he would tear his ACL in his left knee during his first NFL training camp, sidelining him for the entire 2016 season. Despite these setbacks, Reggie was ready to make his NFL debut in 2017, but to his surprise, it would not be in Buffalo. Midway through training camp, the Buffalo Bills would trade Reggie to the Kansas City Chiefs for a mid-round draft pick.
Latest as the Bills try to usher in.
He was going to Kansas City and he came home, and I bought him this board, and we would practice plays on the board.
I felt like that was a tough situation I was in Buffalo, but Kansas City Chiefs wanted me, and I'm very thankful for them coming to get me and giving me the opportunity to play ball.
One of the loudest arenas in all of sports figures to live up to its raucous and roaring reputation today.
Reggie Ragland was also a captain out there playing his former team, the Buffalo Bills, today. Guys, it is unbelievably beautiful down here. Little to no wind.
I know I seen blood that day. I wanted to show them I can still play this game.
2nd and 3.
Lead play, right side, McCoy hit right in the chops.
There's Reggie Ragland, 2nd round pick of the Bills a year ago.
So we were at the game, and I'm like, okay, 59, 59. Everybody wants some of that, 59. And the people were like, 59, you know.
1st and 10, Bills at their own 35. No score, Tyrod.
Sean McCoy, hit hard.
Coming through like a bullet, the former Bill. Reggie Ragland shot through to hit LaShawn McCoy for a loss.
Every time he did that, what? 59, 59, what?
Everything's starting to click for me. I'm starting to get a feel for the game, and I just started seeing myself make plays that I was making in college, and I just felt like Reggie Ragland.
Tucked inside, they're going to run it. Inside run, and the Chiefs blow it up. It's a loss 10 for the Raiders. Handoff goes to beast mode. Lynch up the near side. He gets hit by Reggie Ragland. They're going to run it on jet sweep action. Right there waiting on it. Reggie Ragland.
Formation. 1st and 10 now, Jets. Lead play.
The Chiefs run blitz. This time's in motion. They're going to run a stretch play right.
Off tackle. Reggie Ragland said no off tackle here. His second big hit of this first half.
Well, you know what good cooks do, you know.
What they do?
You put a piece of aluminum foil over your rack.
That's what I did, baby. We're going to cancel that out. We're going to put that on bait. 425.
No matter where Reggie's football life takes him, it is here in Madison, Alabama, amongst his family and friends, that he'll always feel at home.
Look at the wrist. I love my city. I love being from the 256. So you going to spray? I wouldn't change a thing. It made me into the man who I am today. And I'm very thankful to grow up around the people that I grew up around and the people I've met.
He has prepared this big old buffet in here.
This week at training camp has a different feel because that first preseason game looms closer.
Yeah, the Houston Texans are coming to town. I know from talking with the guys every year, they get excited to finally hit somebody that they don't have to hit every day in practice.
Yeah, we'll see you at Arrowhead. We'll also see you next week right here on Chiefs Blueprint. But now let's take a quick look back at all of this week's work in St. Joe.
Chiefs Blueprint is brought to you by Park University, the official higher education partner of the Kansas City Chiefs. Microsoft Surface, the official tablet of the Kansas City Chiefs. Premier Mazda and Premier Volvo of Overland Park. And by the University of Kansas Health System, the official healthcare provider of the Chiefs and the athlete in you.